Hello everyone, today we will embark on a strange and emotional journey where the wild nature opens up majestic and mysterious landscapes. In the forest, the girl in a leaf skirt accompanied the orangutan. She picked fruits, and they sat under a tree to share. They walked along the path. She picked mushrooms, and the orangutan was alert around them. The mushrooms were washed in the stream, and a fire was lit when the sun set. On the fire, the mushroom sticks ripened, and they enjoyed them together. And then the orangutan put his hand on the tree trunk, watching the golden sap flow out in the sunset light. At night, they sat together by the fire, their eyes full of trust. The next morning, they both went to the stream, caught fish, and grilled them over the fire. They wandered deep into the forest. The orangutan picked fruit, the girl carried leaves. They both built a shelter from leaves and branches. It rained. They sat close together under the thatched roof. The rain stopped. A rainbow appeared. They watched it together, their eyes bright and peaceful. They crossed the jungle and came to a large river, jumping in together to escape the swarm of bees. The water splashed white foam. Then both climbed to the bank, sat down to rest and catch their breath. In the afternoon, they sat together watching the sunset peeking through the treetops. The next morning, they continued their journey, going to a giant cave. Inside, the dim light shone on ancient paintings. The orangutan touched the old skull. The girl watched, her eyes silent. They walked deeper into the cave, the blue light from the cliffs shining brightly. The girl touched the glowing moss. The orangutan followed silently. Underground, the clear stream reflected both of their faces. A ghost fish flashed, making them stunned, then continued walking through the winding stone path. The girl placed her hand on the spiral symbol. The light spread throughout the cave. The orangutan carved deeper into the rock, sparks bursting into life. In the brightly lit cave, the orangutan lifted the stone and placed it on the pedestal. The ancient patterns immediately glowed blue. Both of them placed their hands on the stone. The light spread throughout the forest. At night, they lay down to rest under a large tree. Suddenly the shadow of a giant snake slithered down. The orangutan jumped up and swung his stick to fight back. The fierce battle resounded throughout the forest. The orangutan and the girl sat by the fire. The blue smoke of the evening swirled around them. The smell of grilled snake meat spread. The next morning, they entered the forest again. On the orangutan's shoulder was a newly sharpened spear. He stopped by a tree trunk with a large scratch. Both of them looked at each other, their eyes alert. They quickly climbed up a high rock. From there, observing the vast forest. The tiger rushed out of the darkness, its claws tearing the wind. The orangutan swung its stick to fight back. The fierce battle shook the cliff, dust flying everywhere. It knocked the tiger down, but the predator roared loudly, blood staining its shoulders. The girl stood beside him, her eyes determined, raising her knife to face the danger. Finally, both of them stood proudly on the cliff. The moonlight shining down, the tiger retreated into the forest.